Alright, in this video I'm going to kind of describe what pails and rails are and give you a difference between kind of like starter pails and then when we want to do pails and rails, because it's a little bit different. Okay, so pails stands for progressive angular isometric loading, and that you're thinking, what am I talking about here? I'm going to use the example of a heel to butt stretch. Okay, and so this is particularly useful for those of you that have like knee pain in front of your knee or can't get your heel to your butt. Alright, so there's a lot of different ways to do this stretch, but the most user-friendly that I've found is just this. Okay, and that's probably pretty easy for a lot of people, but if you have knee pain, what often happens is like I'll get to a certain place and then I'll put a lot of pressure on the knee. So I'll just use an example of like, let's say I can get my leg to here, but I can't stretch any farther. Okay, the procedure for pails and rails is that I just hold in the stretch wherever the stretch barrier is, and like when I say hold, like the stretch should be around like maybe a 4 out of 10. Like it shouldn't be super like I can't stretch anymore or I feel like my muscle's going to explode. When we do that, we're going to get kickback from the muscle itself when we try to move in any particular way. So what we're actually trying to do is just get stuff to relax. We're actually telling our nervous system to let go of tension as opposed to actually like making stuff more flexible per se. And you'll understand a little bit more about that as we go along. But once I hold here for anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes, just depending on what I tell you to do, our Pails contraction would be pushing away from where we're stretching into. So it would be like progressive angle, which is like, think about just push away. So with that, I'm just going to start to push forward away from me towards the wall and resist myself. I'm going to start at 25% effort. I'm just going to hold here for a minute or about maybe 5 seconds, build up to 50% effort, build up to 75% effort, and then just push as hard as I can away from me for around 15 seconds and relax. And our rails effort would be regressive or towards me, just think regressing going in, by kind of trying to pull my heel further back towards my butt, again, building up to 100% effort for 15 seconds and then just relaxing and then holding this new range and breathing. And what I've done is I've just opened up my body's opened up a new range of motion. I've inhibited kind of my body's tension a little bit. And so now we're accessing something new, and I'm just breathing into this. By deep breathing, I'm just telling my nervous system to let go of its protective response to kind of not give me that range of motion and take it away, which often happens after we stretch. You know, and then I would just repeat that again several times. I hold in the stretch for 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and I push away and pull towards. Now, as far as knowing what to do and how to do it, we're gonna start by talking about level 1 pails. Okay, pails are always where we start pushing away because they're less intensive on the muscle itself. Okay, and if you do have pain, if you're dealing with like, let's say you just had a knee injury or something, and like when you get your heel close enough to your butt, you start to really feel a lot of tension and pain. I want to come to the point where I don't feel that. Like for me, it might be like here. I go beyond here, I'm like, ouch, my knee hurts. So we might start here. A Pails contraction only would be not necessarily even trying to expand the range of motion by stretching, just getting to that barrier and then just contracting for at about maybe 50% or whatever is pain-free for just 10 seconds. And then just doing that a lot. Like I'll do that, I'll let go, you know, I'll rest for a minute, I'll do maybe a set of 5 to 10 second contractions. I might try to move back just a little bit, and you'll notice that it's a little bit less painful, or maybe not painful at all. You know, and so the goal would be to do these Pails contractions and kind of desensitize this this painfulness. We have isometrics, which is what we're doing, have what is called an analgesic or a pain relief effect on acute pain for our joints. And so this is where we would want to start. So I don't want you to necessarily stretch all the way to the pain barrier, but just get right above the pain barrier. Find the pain barrier and be like, okay, so if pain barrier is here, I'm going to be here. I'm going to knock out some contractions. I'm going to try to move it back a little bit, try to maybe push the pain-free barrier back a little bit further until we can, you know, fully move throughout the range of motion that we have without pain. Okay. Then, once we have that, we can move to Pails and rails, which is where, again, I just come to my end range of motion. I push again this way, I pull back, and I'm